Hello, JD Grosspitz here, lead singer and streaming talent of Malignant Bear. Today we're coming at you with a quick look at the game Spirit Hunters Infinite Horde. This is another action roguelike, horde bullet hell kind of shooter, where you are the hell. As you can see, we're battling just hordes and hordes of enemies here on the screen. Makes sense, it's in the title of the game. Just like Vampire Survivors and some of the other ones that are out right now, this is in early access, as you can see. Early access version down there in the bottom left. This game does some things differently from them, obviously, from some of the other ones in the genre, I should say, other than just the art style, and we're going to check it out and showcase it. I've been playing this a little bit off-stream. I've been enjoying some of these games. They're nice time wasters and just kind of fun, mindless entertainment, which is always nice to have. So I figured put out some videos on them. So here's this one. So Spirit Hunters features more of a kind of cartoony art style as opposed to sort of the pixelated Castlevania style of Vampire Survivors or the grittier art style of something like 20 Minutes Till Dawn. So you can see we have some nice kind of cartoony characters. Looks like most of us are kind of mages, you can see here. Some fun music in this game as well. We go ahead and start, and whenever you start after you've at least died once in the game, you get to see the spirit web. And this is the big passive skill tree, very similar to Path of Exile almost, where you get to see all the different abilities you have and start building up little passives for them. So you can see here ability cleave, and you get cleave size, and then way more cleave size based on these banners. And so you have here in the tree, some of these things are banners, and to be able to unlock the banner buff here, you have to do what it says, so kill 2,400 chickens. And as you go through the tree, we'll zoom out as much as we can. It's not enough because there's still more, and there's spots on the tree for even more things as well. So there's a lot of potential content here just in terms of unlocking everything, which is cool. There is multiple types of currency in the game. These you earn through playing and everything, and then you get to spend them here in the tree. And then these I haven't come across yet. I assume this is to respec or something. But whenever you start a run, you can see here, there's a couple different characters. I only have 2 unlocked, because it does take quite a while to unlock things in this game. And every character, from what I can tell, has a different passive. So Magnus, the mage, regenerate 10 health on level up. It's 130 speed, 120 health. Or Vivian the sorceress, soul magnet increases in size by 5% each level. So soul magnet is how things are drawn into you. 130 speed and 100 even HP. So they're both the same speed. Soul Magnet's very useful, so we're going to play as Vivian. And you can see they also have different starting synergies. So based on your starting weapon, you're going to have different synergies. So 10 HP recovery on every orbital fire upgrade. Kills with orbital fire have a 25% greater chance of dropping blue souls, so that's how you level up in the game. So again, you can see there's a couple different abilities here. You start out with only these 4. So whenever you pick one of these to start, that's just what you have to start. You will find upgrades for the others as you go through as well. So we're going to get Cleave. Go ahead and start. Right now there's only 3 maps in the game. I have 2 of them unlocked. You have different challenge levels with them as well. And runs of this only take 15 minutes, again. So a little shorter than 20 minutes till dawn, except for the fact that that has a quick play mode that's only 10 minutes, and definitely shorter than Vampire Survivors. We're going to do the desert, because that's the first one, and then Highlands is what's in the thumbnail. Just a little bit of a different tile set and different enemies. So, start us off in the desert. No curses found here, so you can see what your bonuses are, and there's a little bit of lore. I think the game is trying something with story. There's been a few times where it's kind of said things and name dropped some people and all that. So we're in the game. Here's us. You can see our scythe attack is automatically killing things. And it's going the direction we face. So left and right, and that's it. So that's something kind of interesting that the game does. You can move in a full 8 directions. Your attacks, however, for the most part cannot, at least those ones. So some of the other ones can. For example, Tornado is going to go out and it'll shoot random tornadoes out at every possible direction. Orbital Fire just has the fire spinning around you. And then arrows will shoot out arrows in the direction that you last moved. This one currently seems to be a little bugged and doesn't quite work right, which is a shame because it could be cool. But we started with Cleave for a very specific reason, and we're going to pick up Arrow for that same reason. When enemies die, you can see they don't always drop souls. We have an upgrade that makes them drop more. Oop, there we go, we took damage. So you can see we have 100 health. Getting hit takes some of that away. So we can increase the abilities we already have, or get some new ones. We're just going to increase the ones we have to start with. So when enemies die and they drop things, the drops that they have don't last forever, which is a kind of interesting design choice, because it basically forces you to just kind of push in one direction. So much like the other games in the genre, the map is infinite and randomized. But again, because of this, you want to pretty much just go in one direction, because you don't want to miss things. We'll just leave that there. So you can see it's clicking away. Oop, we got too close because we have a higher pickup range, which is part of the reason why I picked this character. Just getting more souls through her synergy is very good, and then the pickup range makes it a lot easier. So you can see our arrow will get bigger, or the cooldown will decrease. Make it a little larger. So again, the arrow is going where we point to. Just like the scythe is. There, it went up a little bit different direction. There's random things on the map. So this one will go in, even though it's pointless to us right now, is we can buy things with gold. We don't have any gold. And you'll get gold from killing bosses or opening treasure chests or destroying crates on the level. Get little pets that you can find, and you can upgrade them as well. So a couple different options here. But from the shop, you can, heal if you want to, get more runes, which again is one of the currencies you unlock those skill tree things with, or get some souls to level you up right now. Down here at the bottom, you have your XP bar. So obviously when that fills up, you go up in level, makes sense. And then here's the progression of the level, and obviously these skulls are bosses, with a big boss at the end. These bosses are completely randomized, which one you're going to get, and even within that, there's some variations. Like one of the bosses that I fought was a mummy, but he had a couple different options to him. There was one that was kind of dressed up like a butler. There was another one I saw, I can't even remember now, but I've seen like 3 or 4 different mummies now, which I thought was kind of fun. They all attacked me exactly the same, but just some variety there. So based on, what bosses are spawning, or, where you are progression-wise, you might want to maybe wait on some things. There you can see we found a little box, destroyed it. Here's our first treasure chest. So we have to stay in this area for it to unlock. Which obviously means that enemies are going to be gunning for us. They always are, but makes sense in these types of games. If we step outside that, it starts to tick down. So because we're kind of limited in our attack directions, it means that enemies that get in your dead zone, especially directly above or below you, can be kind of hard to deal with at times. So you have to make some choices based on that, and then kind of try to maneuver around it. It makes the game a little bit more difficult, I think, than some of the others in the genre. Because of that, you have to be kind of thinking about things. And from what I've heard, the devs have been fairly active in terms of balance patches to the game, which is interesting for something that's in early access, and especially for in this genre. This seems like something where a game where you would just want everything to be kind of broken, but they're trying to make things fairly even, which I think is interesting. I'm not sure how well they're doing with it. I've seen some complaints on the Steam forums and things. But lock. Let's get the vines. One more ability here. Dropping vines out. Just randomly spawn them, and then things die when they go into them. So not a super good ability compared to some of the other ones, but worth showcasing just what's out there. So you can see here we have 4 abilities. As far as I know, the max you can have is 4. We shouldn't see any new ones beyond this. Make our fire go a little bit faster. I want to get to at least one boss here, just to kind of showcase what's in this. So you can have some different enemy types. Enemies will push each other around. More damage. So you can see some of the little soul orbs have despawned. Oop. You do not have iframes in this game. Or if you do, they're so small I can't tell what they are. So it is possible to get wombo comboed, as it would be, which can be a little annoying. So you can see here some of these bees are kind of in my dead zone. So we're dropping multiple vine zones here at once, which is cool. All these random objects on the map here, they do have collision. They do for you. Some enemies can go through them. I learned that the hard way on the other map. Who would have thought ghosts can go through walls? Jerks. Bees cannot, however. Thank goodness. Cacti, thankfully, do not damage you. Unless they changed that since last I played. Here we have our first boss. It's a bat. So because we're limited to only 2 directions of attack with cleave, it makes it hard to get into position for the arrow. So you can see there, we kind of got lucky with that one. And obviously our attacks have different timings as well, so it makes it a little hard to synergize for things. So we killed the first boss. Right, got some hearts, got some runes, got some gems. So gold is just for the level that you're on. That does not carry over or anything. But the runes and the gems do. Those are what you spend in the skill tree. So runes for the passives, and then gems for like the bigger abilities. So the unlocks like new abilities and characters and things. And again, just like Path of Exile, some passives are more exciting than others. So obviously there's ones that can increase like the size of your abilities or the cooldown and stuff, which is good and interesting. Opens up the doors for some more builds. But then there's other ones that are just, you know, plus 2 HP. Which isn't all that exciting, but I get that you have to fill the tree with something, so. I wouldn't mind seeing them pare it down, though. I think it's a little overwhelming. Increase damage. Your abilities can crit. I'm not sure. I think it's just a flat double damage. What I can tell. Let's see if we can increase damage again. A very low crit rate to begin with, and then you can upgrade it obviously over time. Coming up to another boss there, so you 6 damage from that. I don't know what did that though. Oh, that hit for 21. So maybe it's triple damage? Yeah, okay. That's interesting. So you can see here as you're leveling up, you get to see all your stats there, which is cool. You can re-roll your upgrades as well. We'll go with decreased cooldown on that. This is fun and satisfying in the same way that Vampire Survivors or 20 Minutes Till Dawn is. Increased cleave damage. Yeah, we haven't gotten too many upgrades for cleave at all. That's what we started with. And again, I like that these some of the games have figured out that it's good to have shorter levels. Nothing against Vampire Survivors, but, you know. Obviously, you get your most progress in terms of upgrades and gold and things at the end of a match. So if you can't make it that full 30 minutes, it can feel like you've kind of wasted your time. Let's see what this boss is. You heard it growl. It sounded very angry. But where? Still don't see it. Interesting. That cactus is gigantic. There it is. It got stuck on that cactus. Okay. It's some sort of elemental. As you can see here, time is ticking down. Just shy of halfway through this game. Low on health though too, so increase our attack speed. Actually, let's go ahead and die on purpose just to demonstrate how that looks in this as well. Nice little death animation, of course, right after we killed the boss. You get your stats. So your time survived, your monster kills, you get bonuses based on that. See how many sub-bosses you defeated, the runes you collected. All your stuff in the end, all your stats and all that. So this would be a cool screen to, take a screenshot of and share with somebody just to compare stats and builds and all that. And then, of course, you get to go back to the Oracle. Unlock some more things that way. Just tells you a little something every time. Which is nice, and then you get to go and pick up some more upgrades. I will say upgrades are pretty expensive. And again, similar to Vampire Survivors, you don't get a whole lot of runes until the end. So if you happen to be experimenting with builds and finding weapons that you maybe aren't so good at, or you're just struggling with something, you might not be getting any upgrades for a while. So for example, right now we only have 134, so we can get some of these boring passives, but for any of the real big things, we don't have the ability to do that, Upon leveling, you get 1 extra talent choice for 100 crystals. We don't have 100. But there's a lot here. Lots of potential with this one for sure. I think the art style is kind of neat. Not quite sure how I feel about the, pretty much only being able to attack in 2 directions. Maybe that changes with more weapons later on. Obviously, we don't have a ton of them right now. But I think that speaks to the level of content that's possible in this game. And of course, they can always add more as well. This is a pretty early access build. It's still fun though. I would recommend this one. It's a little bit on the pricier side, at least as far as this genre of games goes. I think this is like $5 instead of $3. So, maybe something to think about there. But I think this game does have potential. I've been enjoying it. And I hope you did too. Because this was Spirit Hunters Infinite Horde. Until next time, have a good one.